TNMP, the Nerdy Misfit Podcast, with your hosts, Connor O'Neill and Matthew Hughes.
What is up, Matthew?
Not too much. Just chilling. Here we are, back again.
Recording a podcast.
Recording a podcast, episode 60.
Recording one of our only series.
Yes.
If not the only series.
It is the only series.
So
until
far.
Chip Brothers come back, and then that becomes a series.
True. And we have the
I guess
potential
the tasting.
tasting. We haven't... Well,
Only
yeah,
got
I
two
guess.
of those, so, you know. It's
And we have in the works potentially more 3x3s.
exactly. So, in theory, we have...
Definitely the most episodes series.
Yes, as this is episode 5 of this series.
Which is what we'll be watching for the upcoming anime
Exactly.
season, which is summer 2023. But before we dive into that,
We got to
Let's,
talk about the spring anime.
let's go back.
It's just wrapping
Go
up.
back one season or current season, technically
Current
still.
season, about a week left, I think. Some last
But,
episodes and stuff coming out.
What shows were you into? What shows you like? What shows should people watch?
Damn, which shows should people watch? That is a good question. Like, jump back here to spring anime. I mean, it really depends, obviously. I think this kind of goes for every season, but it really depends on what your tastes are, you know? So, for example, like me, I just kind of watched 3 of them. The three ones I watched were Demon Slayer, the newest season. I saw, like, the special they put in theaters, which was, like, the last 2 episodes and the first episode of the anime for the newest season. And then I watched through Hell's Paradise.
Yep.
And then I watched through Mashal. Those are the big 3 I watched.
By big 3, you mean the only 3?
The only 3 I watched.
Okay.
Yeah. But I have a list of things that I want to watch because there's some stuff that's carrying into the summer season
Okay,
that
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
going to try and watch as well.
That's fair.
And technically speaking, Vinland Saga a few episodes, but I know this is the end of the season, so I don't really count that.
Yeah, it's the second core. I
yeah.
mean, it wasn't it was the whole 12. It was a whole 12 episodes. But yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
It started in the previous season.
Exactly. What about you, sir?
Yeah, similar. I've got all those series that you also mentioned. I also, on top of that, watched Oshinoko, which had tons of hype after the first episode.
Is that the one that was like an hour and a half of the first episode?
Yeah, and it was like above Fullmetal Alchemist for a long time on Mal.
Which is crazy.
But it is and it isn't. It happens. When the hype is there, something always passes it.
Yeah.
And it's hard to tell if it's people that are just review bumping and review bombing. Because
That is true. I know we've discussed
some
that
of
a
the
little bit.
Fullmetal
before.
Alchemist fans can be a little crazy. But yeah, it's one of those series when you read the synopsis, it doesn't do a good job of explaining what you're actually watching. You just have to watch it.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to spoil it for anyone, but I will say it is an enjoyable show.
That's fair.
And don't let the first episode fool you into thinking it's something it's not. I think best way for me to explain the first episode is it's a good way of grabbing you and being
Okay.
like, you want to watch this. But that's not what the entirety of the show is.
Yeah.
But it is good, well animated. I don't have the author's name, but it's the same writer of Kaguya-sama, Love is War, which is a huge series, very popular.
Yep.
In the anime world. I'm sure people have heard it. If you haven't watched it, you've at least heard about it. So it's by the same author. And that was pretty solid. I've got Heavenly Delusion. We talked about it. I remember discussing it a bit. It sounded interesting. The only problem is this one, I believe, is on Disney Plus. So it's a little hidden from the average viewer. But that's been a very enjoyable series. Insomniacs After School has been a nice little cutesy slice of lifey thing, which has been nice. And then similar, I've been watching Hell's Paradise, which has been really enjoyable. Mashal, which has been less so.
We'll get into that.
Less so enjoyable. It's not the greatest. Demon Slayer has been Demon Slayer. I will say, in terms of story, I think this arc is a little on the weaker side.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
But in terms of animation, it holds up to what you would expect, which is Ufotable's special. We have Konosuba, An Explosion of the Wonderful World, which is more of like a side story kind of thing, going focused only on Megumin, which is the explosion girl, if you don't know.
Yep.
And yeah, that's been decent. I don't think anything is gonna quite capture the magic of the very first season of Konosuba, but it's definitely good if you enjoy this series. Of course, we talked about it already. I believe we talked about it, but it was the first part of the Attack on Titan final season, final chapter, blah 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 blah, times 12.
Part 17.
Yeah. Anyways, but that first part came out, was solid. Enjoyed it. One series I really excited to watch, but I haven't gotten to watch yet is Tonikawa, which is Over the Moon for You, the second season.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I just haven't had time to put aside to watch that one. But I am extremely excited to still watch it. I know it is a slower series and very like cutesy, but sometimes you need that. You need that to change the
vibe. You know, you can't always be a shonen junkie.
Exactly. And those were the ones I watched that I enjoyed, basically. But yeah, let us know what you watched the spring season of 2023. If we missed any hidden gems in there. I know some people are talking about the one rom-com, I believe, which was the My Love Story with Yamada-kun at level 999.
Okay, yeah.
999, yeah, 999. Never ended up watching it. It's by Madhouse, so it's probably on the watch list to
eventually
maybe one day be watched.
Yeah, it's in the
or
backlog.
Just be on the watch list
Sit
for
there
an
forever.
eternity.
That's fair.
Which happens sometimes.
It does.
Maybe I'll give it
The 3 episodes, 6 episodes.
Before the summer really starts going, I'll give it the old 2 eps, 3 eps, and be like, do I want to finish this or not?
That's fair.
And we'll see. But I think that covers it for the spring season little recap.
Yeah, I mean,
like we said, mention what you liked, what you watched.
Yeah, I mean, of the 3 I watched, I mean, Hell's Paradise, I think it gave me a similar feel to Promised Neverland in the fact that I watched the first episode. I'm like, all right, I kind of want to go grab the manga now. Like the first episode for Hell's Paradise and overall the season so far has just been pretty solid. I think you and I discussed this off mic, but all the character designs are different. You're following characters, and even the supporting characters, things happen to them. And
yeah, it's not scared of
the main character is
cast.
not OP. Like he
he is.
He is, but he still gets like
in comparison to everything else, he's not OP.
Exactly.
It is part of the new Dark Trio. I'm putting hand quotes here. Dark Trio, which includes Jujutsu Kaisen and Chainsaw Man.
Yeah.
And I will say, it is pretty fitting in there where it's not scared to be gruesome, and it's not scared to eliminate characters
I agree.
you think are going to be long characters. I'll say
no one is safe.
I don't think the first season's going to go far enough in, which is why I'm definitely picking up the manga. I'm going to be cranking through that.
It's only 13 volumes, I believe, so it's pretty small.
But I'll definitely be cranking through that just to catch up and be like, oh, what's going on?
Yeah, how's it going to end? What is the Hell's Paradise, And then Mashal, I just want to mention this because I wanted to like it. And because the way it's described is literally One Punch Man meets Harry Potter. And
which is accurate.
It is pretty accurate, but I understand why it's compared to it.
It's missing the intensity that
One Punch Man
season 1 had.
Yeah. And I did watch like an episode or 2 subbed in hopes that it would have that similar feel, and it just kind of felt flat.
Just even animation.
Yeah.
The one thing that was ridiculous about One Punch Man was also Madhouse's animation was amazing and just over the top for such a ridiculous show. This is missing that. I'm not going to say the animation is bad, but it's just very passable.
And all the characters are kind of monotone.
Very average. I think that's part of the...
Well, no, like the main character is obviously monotone, but like the character, like the
supporting cast isn't
aren't
great.
interesting, in my opinion, either.
So definitely a very subpar show. Yeah.
I think the hype was a little too much, I think. And you also read the manga, though, ahead of time, too. Like, did the jokes be okay in the manga? Or do they still kind of
They're very
flat?
similar, but I guess I also had different voices. I don't know. When you just create the voices in your head, and so it sounded better. But obviously, the second time being delivered, it was just like flat.
Yeah, you're like, oh,
Jokes were not a reapproach. Like, oh yeah, I can listen to that joke multiple times. No.
Yeah, it's a one trick pony.
And it's not like I was laughing my head off.
Like I said, in my notes, I literally have
this is different.
like 3 episodes to get a good chuckle.
But
anyways,
we'll dive into the summer season of 2023. The second summer season we're covering officially,
Yes, this is
as we've made it across the whole year for anime.
which is crazy. Crazy not in this one.
Very crazy. So we are on the live chart,
Yep.
livechart.me, which is our go-to for what's coming up in the anime seasons. If you want to check out the website and follow along, we're going to be sorting by popularity, English titles, and we'll start with television. So, obviously, we're going to have some continuing series, so we'll go through some of these a little quicker. So we have Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2.
Yep.
I don't know. You've seen the movie, I believe?
No, I've seen the first 7 or 8 episodes of season 1. I still need to finish it. I'm hoping to push through that because as of this recording, we have 2 weeks till the first episode of season 2 comes out, so might power through it.
So I've seen I think they've had 1 or 2 trailers for this so far, or teasers, and they've changed the art style. Now, my belief is that in this arc, there is a lot more fighting and high action. I don't know what else to really say. So part of me thinks they changed the art style to be a little bit more simplistic, so that the animation is easier for the animators and just more fluid.
Yeah.
Maybe the fights will be a lot better because of that. Love to see. I'm caught up in the manga, so there's scenes happening in the manga that I'm like, oh, I can't wait to see them animated. But now I'm like, ooh, which version of it do I want?
Are we gonna get?
So that'll be an interesting discussion as we see more of season 2 of it to see which style I liked more. But people are gonna watch that no matter what.
That's
massive manga right now, massive show.
It's the anime of the summer, I'd presume, based on what we're looking at right now.
Oh,
Like, of the popular ones.
Jump to conclusions. we got Mushoku Tensei, massive isekai. Some would say the best isekai, getting its season 2. I know this could help solidify it to being the best quotations isekai, because I think you can't really judge it off of just one season to be the best. It still had some stuff to tell, and we're getting it. So we'll see if the story can continue to be as strong as it was in the first season. This is definitely hyped up. I would not have been surprised if this was first on the list above Jujutsu Kaisen.
Okay.
That's how popping off it was when it first came out. Misfit of Demon King Academy Season 2.
Yep.
Season 1 was funny. This is another isekai, kind of fantasy.
Reincarnation style.
Well, I don't even remember if it's really an isekai. I can't even, it hasn't been long since I watched it, but I can't even remember. It's like all these fantasy stuff are just so melded together.
Yeah.
That I just tell myself it's an isekai. It says
That's
reincarnation, so
Yeah, that's what I was kind of going off of. Obviously, One Piece. We can skip over that one.
we just don't know. But this, I'm surprised it's third on the list, but it was funny. The first season was funny. If you haven't seen it and you want a funny isekai that is just I'm going to say is ridiculously, overpowered and ridiculous. That's a lot of them, but this one's actually on the better side. We got Horimiya. Now, this seems to be going to be 13 episodes, and this is stories that weren't adapted in the 2021 season they did by Cloverworks. I'm sure all of you romance fans are going to love another 12, 13 eps of Horimiya.
Yep.
So if you're into romance, slice of life, that one is going to definitely take the cake for sure. Then we got
season 2.
Another season 2. We've got Bleach season. I'm surprised this isn't higher, but
Yeah.
I guess Bleach is pretty long, and this is the final arc, so I guess it's only Bleach
If you're not,
fans.
yeah, I was gonna say that's much more Bleach fans.
But if you are a Bleach fan and have seen all of Bleach and then haven't seen the 1,000-Year Blood War arc, first season, that was fire. It was so well done. It's surprising that it's Studio P.
Yeah.
They went all out. I'm just hoping they don't do the thing where they show it off because I feel like they did this a bit in Tokyo Ghoul Re, where Tokyo Re, the first season was decent. They got us in the first half, not gonna lie, and then the second half was bad. So I'm hoping that's not happening again, where the quality is gonna drop off now that they've kind of got people in.
That's fair.
I hope they can keep up the quality, and this whole arc is that quality, because what a story. Moving on, we got another second season. We got Devil is a Part-Timer. This is a long-awaited season. I've never seen Devil is a Part-Timer, but I remember correctly that it came out a good while ago.
I think Gray's mentioned it on an episode before.
That is out a long while ago.
Yeah. Now we're getting into the season 1s, I believe.
Now we're getting into the stuff that people don't know about, potentially.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got The Girl I Like Forgot Her Glasses. Romantic subtext. School slice of life.
Yeah.
So looks like pretty typical. You got a shy boy, has a crush. So if you want something cutesy,
Yeah, that's
give something cutesy a try.
Yep.
Looks like a TV special for quintessential quintuplets.
Yep.
Which don't know much about it, to be honest, but
What
here,
else?
I'm assuming you need to be caught up to understand what's happening.
This one here, I'll probably give this
This
one a
one-
try.
Based on, it seems interesting, eh?
Yeah, like
the-
it's swords, but also kind of gives me a Harry Potter-esque
So this
feel.
is Reign of the Seven Spellblades. This is by J.C. Staff, which is hit or miss sometimes.
Yeah.
It's based off a light novel, action fantasy, school setting. So not an isekai,
No,
just fantasy and
just
action.
magical school.
Yeah, it looks pretty solid. Springtime at Kimberly Magic Academy. And new students are beginning their first year. Among them are skilled and studious boy, Oliver. Oliver.
samurai girl.
They soon form a unique bond, classic,
Yeah.
in the halls of Kimberly. It's a very strange name for a school.
Right?
But this picturesque school isn't what it seems. Never is. Dark secrets and endless danger lurk behind every corner.
Can these wizards make it to graduation alive?
Doesn't really tell you much.
No, I watched the trailer
But
for it,
sometimes
but it
that's
looks good.
Sometimes that's good, but
Right.
it doesn't give you tons.
Well, in the trailer, without giving too much, like part of the trailer, just like it's like 80% of like students make it out alive, 20% die over use of magic, or the magic consumes them, and I'm like, okay, you have me curious.
Just looking and I'm seeing so many anime that start on my birthday.
That's fair.
We've got, I think Bleach starts this, the Reign of the Seven Spellblades. We
Yeah.
got Rent a Girlfriend Season 3.
That's what you're waiting for.
It is a lot lower, but we'll first
Yeah.
go to Am I Actually the Strongest?
Isekai.
Looks like a
recut.
generic
Yeah.
isekai. Staple Entertainment. Not too sure what else they've done.
Yeah.
No, there's so many isekai. It's higher up on the list, which makes me want to give it like 1 or 2 eps. But what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to let Reddit decide if it's good or not, and then I'll go off of it.
Fair.
Then, if Reddit says, no, it's actually a pretty good isekai, then I'll give it the 3-episode try. And then if it's not good from my own perspective, then I'll decide
That's fair.
if I'm watching it or not. Yeah, we have Rent a Girlfriend Season 3, which has definitely dropped in popularity. It's safe to say people are already getting a little tired of the show. They are ripping through the seasons, though. I'm not going to lie.
Mhm.
I did watch half of Season 2. I never finished it, but I'm also caught up in the manga, so I just never felt a real
Connection.
desire to read it. A lot of the time when I'm caught up in a manga, usually I just want to see the cool, if it's shonen, I just want to see the cool action scenes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That I want to see them animated, see them come to life. For when I'm reading something like a romance comedy, it doesn't matter
Yeah,
really to me. I'm
exactly.
like, I've read it. I know what's going to happen. It's not like there's going to be crazy fight or something. Like,
Yeah.
so I'm just not as keen on catching up. I feel like I may as well watch something else. Now we got Zom 100, Bucket List of the Dead.
Look at just like action, adventure, comedy, horror, supernatural, survival, suspense.
Yeah, seems like there's a lot going on. I haven't watched the trailer for this one specifically.
Zombie apocalypse stuff. All right. I don't know.
But seems like a lot's going on. Seems pretty colorful.
Yep.
We got with 3 years under his belt at the company from hell. Okay. I'm dying. Speaking of hell has caused me to die. Is mentally and physically spent.
At the ripe old age of 24.
Oh,
Damn.
dear.
Great.
Even his crush from accounting is sorry. Something like that.
Sarari?
Wants nothing to do with him. Then, just when life is beginning to look like one big disappointment,
Damn.
it happens. The zombie apocalypse descends. All right, so interesting.
It's potential, I guess.
Definitely seems to be more on the comedic side. Obviously, it mentions it, but you can almost just tell on the picture they have.
Yeah.
It's colorful though, so it could be good. Comedies are tough, like in live action.
Yeah.
In any way, comedy is always
It's always a hit and miss.
subjective. Sometimes for some people it's great, for others
Not so much.
not so much. Then we got Liar Liar, which is by Geek Toys Studio. Psychological romance school strategy game comedy.
It's a lot.
Give her a read, Matt.
We got a mind game of lies and deceit begins at the Academy Island. Student battling games to win stars, hoping to earn the prestigious title 7-star. I feel like we're in that Yu-Gi-Oh arc when they're on the island.
First arc, yeah.
Sarasa is in last year's champion, is on track to win again until Hiruto, a new transfer student, hits the scene. Surprisingly, Hiruto defeats her by sheer luck. Oh no. Now he must use his bluffs and trickery to stay on top. Whatever will you do?
I feel like I've learned nothing about what the show is actually about.
Correct. It's Kichigiriya, but not as bad.
Yeah, Kakaguri,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that one meets No Game, No Life. Like there seems to be a little bit of...
Kakaguri is good, though.
I've watched the first season. I haven't watched any past that, but...
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh.
What do we got? Hero Classroom.
Is this
Wow.
My Hero Academia?
Etchy version.
Yeah. I want to be an ordinary person. Someone who's normal. I've already told you I don't have my power anymore. Oh, it's reverse My Hero.
Oh, reverse My
Plot
Hero.
twist. Blade is a carefree transfer student whose only goal is to make friends with his classmate at Rosewood Academy, a school for heroes in training. So far,
Never
very
heard
My
of
Hero.
that before.
On the surface, Blade seems like an ordinary boy, but he's hiding a miserable secret with seeds that start long ago, with the defeat of the Demon King at the hands of the great hero. Join this new class of friends as they unravel the mysteries surrounding Blade and journey toward becoming full-fledged heroes. Literally, if you were to read that out of context, would have thought it would just be a My Hero Academia spinoff.
It could
Like,
be.
like it just feels so like,
Unoriginal?
yeah.
It is a light novel.
Okay.
But not an isekai.
These guy.
Worth noting. It is a fantasy and not an isekai. And a light novel. That's a rare combination nowadays.
That is true, actually. Bongo Stray Dogs 5.
Yeah, we got another sequel where obviously lower on the popularity list just due to, I'm sure, the amount of people that are even on that season. But we got My Unique Skill Makes Me OP even at level 1. This could be anything, I think. But if I was to guess, I'm going to say it's an
seems
isekai.
pretty OP.
I'm going to say it's an isekai, and we see some slimes.
Yep.
And yeah, I'm not even going to read the synopsis.
weird.
You've heard the story before.
Exactly. My Dreamy Realist. Comedy, slice of life, probably-esque. Schoolgirl. Yeah. My Tiny Senpai. Oh, great.
Yeah, it's going to look like a skip for me, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, adult cast, comedy, romance, slice of life, workplace, yeah. Moving on.
A Yakashi Triangle.
An
Another
Exorcist
ecchi.
Ninja.
Is this a season of some ecchis?
Yes. I mean, so yeah, an Exorcist Ninja, my guy.
Exorcist Ninja.
Oh, there's a girl that looks like a cat, which rules. Oh gosh. Oh yeah, that's edgy.
It's I guess just got a lot of cute female characters, and I'm sure we'll have some lewd scenes.
Yes, indeed.
Make it ecchi.
Yeah.
Connect. Don't know.
Not familiar.
Not familiar either. Eden Zero, season 2.
Continuing from this season.
I'm kind of excited for this, I'm not going to lie.
Which one?
So we got Rurouni Kenshin. I'm assuming it's...
Samurai, yes?
No, I'm assuming this is a remake. I'm assuming they're starting from the beginning, just based on the way it's 2023. But this is an extremely popular manga from the 90s.
Okay.
The author, I don't think ever went to jail, but did plead guilty to CP.
Ah.
Yeah. So, Yikes.
Yikesies.
Yeah, I think they, don't quote me on this, but I'm almost certain they got a $2,500 fine and didn't go to jail.
Damn.
But a fun fact about Rurouni Kenshin is that Oda, the writer of One Piece, was an assistant.
Oh,
on this
interesting.
series. Yep. I have read a good chunk of the manga.
Yep.
It's pretty good. The characters are both the main character and the side characters are pretty great. So I never watched the original anime, so I am tempted to
Give it a watch.
give it a whirl. But yeah, obviously there's some gray area there separating. I'm not going to tell people how to.
Yeah, it's the big question we have outside of even manga, right? It's
in anything, right?
Yeah.
Separating art from the artist.
Correct. Which is unfortunately a lot of
What's
people
your
have
decision?
trouble.
Well, what's your decision? Do you
Yeah.
choose to do it? Do you not choose to do it? I'm not going to tell people what to do. That's kind of my belief. Like, you live your life, and as long as you ain't hurting people and bugging people, So, but we'll leave it at that. It doesn't change the fact that it is a incredibly popular series from the 90s, beloved by a lot of people. So we'll see. I mean, who doesn't like samurais? You know what I'm saying?
Heck yeah, it's samurais.
Okay, what do we got here?
Saint Cecilia and Pastor
Doga
Lawrence.
Kobo Studio.
Not familiar with that one
I need
either.
to start paying attention more to these studio names. It feels like
Some of them
there's
look
just so
familiar
many-
and just
yeah.
others don't look familiar either.
I agree. This is a comedy fantasy romance. I'm going to be honest, just looking at it, quick glance, it looks pretty generic. Art style looks
Cecilia develops a secret crush.
uninspiring.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. What do you think?
I'll pass on it. Dukes of Death and His Maid Season 2.
And then something I never
Oh, heck yeah.
I never thought. I remember seeing this light novel when some of these guys were popping off and
Yeah.
you saw them everywhere. Never in my wildest
I want to try
dreams
this one.
did I ever think this was going to get animated.
Reborn as a vending machine, I now wander the dungeon.
So
Do you want to read the description?
no, we're not going to read the description.
I
It's an
figured.
isekai where someone is reborn as a vending machine. It's in the title.
I know, but it just sounds so cringe and it's going to be great.
Well, there you go. Matt's going to give it a try and let you guys know. All right, on to
Great.
the next isekai. We got
The Great Cleric.
The Great Cleric, fantasy isekai reincarnation. Can a former salaryman become peerless in another
Another
world?
world. He was shot to death before earning a promotion.
Yeah. Don't read
Yeah,
that
but
stuff.
man.
They don't need to know how he dies. No one cares.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it's gonna be a no. That's gonna be a no from me. Oh, on to our next isekai. Wow. What is this? The fifth?
I think we're way past the fifth one here.
The most heretical? Is that how you say that?
Heretical? That sounds weird too.
Yeah. Last boss queen from villainous to savior.
Oh no.
Oh, only 8 years old when she realizes she's been reincarnated.
Destined to become the future wicked queen.
Well, I guess you don't see them die, so that's something.
That's cool. That makes it different. Oh, what do we got on this next one?
We
This is continuing.
got continuation, but it's anthropomorphic.
Yeah,
Fantasy
this is like the Beauty
romance.
and the Beast. Like,
Oh, you're familiar.
No, I'm not familiar. We talked about this briefly in the spring one. Yeah, Sacrificial Princess and the King of the Beasts. So
We got a Fate
heck yeah.
by A1.
I'ma watch this one.
Not much needs to be said. It's based off a light novel. Have no idea where it takes place in terms of any
This is
Fate
the-
lore, but
Oh, years have passed since the end of the 5th Holy Grail War.
there you go. And if you're a Fate fan, it's a TV special. So look out for Matt. He's a pretty big Fate fan. He'll let y'all know.
Let's hope so. My Happy Marriage.
Historical romance.
Okay. Doesn't really give a time, but okay.
Art looks poppin', not gonna lie. It looks pretty nice.
But wait, what about this next one?
We got some Sakura in the background.
Sweet Reincarnation. Could it be an easy guy?
Fantasy, gourmet, isekai, reincarnation, slice of life.
But as a chef.
Going to the next Lord of the Dominating Way. He's an over remarkable talent for his age, and it just so happens a genius pastry
Oh
chef.
my gosh.
Okay. That's
All
going
right.
to be a skip for me. On to the next fantasy.
We're just getting into really some real.
Yeah, let's just, we got another ecchi. It seems like the season of some ecchi.
Ecchi
and, well, Isekai's kind of
Isekai's
normal.
every-
Yeah, but
Blue Orchestra, that's continuing.
that's continuing. If I remember correctly, this never got picked up by anyone for English translation or for any provider. So the only way to watch it is if you were in Japan watching it as it aired.
I see that.
So yeah, no one's really seen it, so I don't know if it's good or not, but it looked interesting.
Some other season 2s. Nothing really else really popping.
Yeah,
Popping
definitely
out.
nothing else crazy really standing out for us. We got on Madhouse, the Gene of AI. The Masterville Cat is depressed again today, and that's just something you can't unsee, guys. You're welcome. If you're listening to just the podcast normally on Spotify, you're welcome. You cannot see it. If you're joining us from YouTube, where we actually have
a video
where you can
hopefully,
see it.
anyways.
Sorry.
And,
that looks like it.
All right, let's skip over to the movies quick. Is there any
We do. I definitely recall there being some movies.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So we got a reincarnated slime movie. Joining in on the isekai hype.
Black Clover.
We got Black Clover, which this is canon.
Okay.
Continuation. They did take a big hiatus. One Piece Film Red. I don't think that's right.
Well, that's a note. The Blu-ray and DVD release.
Why are they putting it in here then?
I don't know, because it's a physical release.
Well, we did see it. Rascal does not dream of a sister venturing out
Oh, that's happening tomorrow for us.
for Japan.
Japan.
For Japan.
Yes.
Yes. Did you watch Bunny Girl Senpai yet?
Watch the first episode. I want to read through more of the series, the light novel series I'm reading, so I can see the more of the comparison.
Oh yeah, because people like to compare the two. That's fair. You're talking about the Monogatari series.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of the series. Definitely was super hella popular when it first aired.
I remember that. Yeah.
It has fallen off a lot. We were at Anime North, and I was looking for a figurine of Mai, who is the main girl from the show. And initially, when the show first came out that first year, everywhere.
Yeah, I remember that.
And now nowhere.
Nothing.
Nowhere.
Weird.
But definitely excited. I mean, I loved the series. The movie was great, which wrapped in. So
Yep.
I'm excited. I'll definitely be watching it.
We got Seven Deadly Sins, Grudge of Edinburgh, which is a part 2 original story, so I don't think this is even canon either.
Correct.
Which is whatever. We're not
I
even gonna...
definitely have never heard of these two.
I think I've watched one of them, one of the Seven Deadly Sins movies, and it's just Netflix, and it's just, yeah. And moving on. Color Malice, Deep Cover.
Oh, a Studio G.
I just saw that, actually.
So what is this? This is like a theatrical premiere.
Yeah. How Do You Live? Interesting. That'll be good, though.
I'll have to do more research into what this actually is. I have not heard much. Not usually into the movies.
Madhouse film.
Or like if people talk about them enough, then I check them out kind of thing. Or if it's like a series that I'm just obviously
Most of these are just...
This is a Blu-ray
release,
DVD,
yeah.
Looks pretty. Maybe we can check it out.
Sailor Moon movie. Pretty
Never
Guardian,
have
Sailor
enough-
Moon, Cosmos, the movie, part 1.
Can't have enough Sailor Moon people.
Yeah. OVAs. Oh boy, Record Ragnarok, the rest of season
Link
2.
2.
Okay.
That is the Chinese a Chinese show
Oh, okay. Interesting.
about kind of like time travel-esque.
Okay.
It's an element of it. Obviously, it says up here time travel, but it was solid. Definitely a solid show. So I don't know if this is. It says 2, which makes me believe that this is season 2, and it's just not in television because it's a Chinese studio doing it. Makes me
Could be.
believe that it's under the OVA title here. But
I know Record Ragnarok 2 is on this because they did half of season 2 release and then they stopped releasing it for some reason.
probably because it was god awful.
No comment.
But yeah, that seems to be it. I mean, other than some of the big season 2s, not too many season 1s that are really catching my eye. It might just be keeping up with what I've
What's been
got
going on, yeah.
I mean, obviously we'll be updating you on the podcast with what maybe there is a standout show. That this is only a first reaction, so
Later on throughout the season, we'll
sometimes
definitely-
the synopsises don't do the show justice.
vice
So,
versa.
We'll keep our eyes on Reddit, Twitter, on the Discord as well.
Okay.
If any of you guys are watching something that we should definitely check out. If anything stands out, we'll definitely end up probably checking out, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And we'll let you guys know on the podcast that, hey,
What to watch, what not
this
to
sounded
watch, and-
stupid, but it's actually really good.
Exactly.
Which happens a lot, I think, in anime seasons. There's just so many.
Sometimes they just don't get the description right.
Yeah, synopsises are poor. Sometimes the first episode just isn't
The best.
the best for pulling people in either. But
I mean, you take a look at Steins Gate, for example. Like, it takes a few episodes to get into that, in my opinion.
some would say more than a few.
I know, I'm just paraphrasing here.
But same goes for One Piece. But that
Yeah.
I also just don't think that style's popular anymore.
Agreed. You need to be
The
thrown right
unfortunate
into it,
part is the attention span of people is negatory.
for sure.
There's just so much content out there that people are just like, nah, I could be watching this. I could be playing
I
this.
could be doing this
doing
instead.
this.
Yeah.
So if you're not really grabbing people in that first, it feels like 2 episodes.
Then it drops,
Yeah. So
for sure.
we'll be at least 3 episodes
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah. We'll do the testing of 3 episodes, hopefully.
But yeah,
But,
definitely. Honestly, I'm kind of like there are some big hitters, but
It's all
But it feels like a lot of sequels.
Which is
Doesn't-
weird for summer anime, in my
Yeah, I
opinion.
was gonna expect a little bit more. I've been trying a lot more to since we started doing these to not look ahead
Yeah.
and just have this be more of our initial reaction. Be like, oh, that's surprising. Obviously, some stuff's unavoidable, like Jujutsu Kaisen season 2. That's very unavoidable
Yeah,
in terms
exactly.
of knowing when that's coming out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I gotta say, overall, I'm not like there are series I'll definitely force myself to check out. Reign of the Seven Spellblades is probably the only one that's really standing out to me right now in terms of non-sequels.
I'll try Hero Classroom because I'm curious.
I don't know, have you watched
But-
any ecchi shows before?
Not really, no.
I was gonna say I don't think it doesn't seem like your
My cup of tea.
your cup of tea.
I mean, I'll try the Reborn as a Vending Machine one and the Fate one, but those are the only ones that I'll attempt.
Yeah, well, keep your eyes out, guys. And let us know. Keep your eyes and ears open.
Exactly.
We'll definitely let you know what we're watching. Maybe if there's a big change.
Yeah.
For sure. But other than that,
Yeah.
next week we've got a big ep.
Yes, the review of Flash and Spider-Man, finally. We've been
At long
foreshadowing this episode for like 3, 4. We got some TikToks out of it, hopefully.
Should be safe in terms of listening to the podcast. We don't want to spoil anything, so we've given some
Exactly.
good time. We also were unavailable to see the films on the initial release dates,
Yeah.
which is why we felt even more comfortable just being like, okay, no rush. We'll record the app, make sure
Give it time.
people have seen some
Exactly.
stuff.
Because I know some of you guys, we came out with the Guardians of the Galaxy episode like right away, and I know some of you guys were like, well, I can't listen to it because I haven't seen it yet. So
Yeah,
I
and
think
the
giving
other
you
thing
guys...
is it's the summer. So people are busy
Exactly.
vacationing. Maybe some people are just waiting for it to end up at like the drive-in.
Yep, that's another one
If
too.
you have a drive-in locally and you want to check out films, like fair enough.
Yeah,
It's the summer.
all the power to you.
So definitely look forward to that. We're gonna cheers off this episode.
Yeah.
With we got a strawberry basil smash.
Which is delicious, by the way. But what's in it? How do you...
It's some muddled strawberries, some Jamaican rum, some lemon, and basil.
Perfect. It's delicious.
And then shaker up.
Sugar. Perfect.
So yeah, it's definitely a great summer drink, refreshing.
Yep.
You know, strawberries, beautiful,
It's delicious.
lovely fruit.
Exactly. I concur.
Maybe we'll have a fruit episode. I would like that.
I don't know if we'd have a fruit episode. But we'll see.
Do you like bananas?
Do you like bananas? What's your favorite kind of apple?
Ones that aren't grainy.
Awesome. Okay, on that note.
But yeah, guys, thanks for listening to what we'll be watching in the summer 2023 anime season, and thanks for sticking along for this
for 60 episodes.
a year around the sun for
anime.
getting for anime, yeah.
Crazy.
And if you're not into anime, but maybe we've gotten you to start watching some more anime, welcome aboard. It's a strange world out there.
Yep.
Be safe. Definitely be safe.
Words of encouragement from Connor.
Be careful what you watch. But yeah, that's going to cover it for this episode, unless you have anything else to add there, Matthew.
Easy peasy, good to wrap up.
But yeah, guys, thanks so
further
much.
ado,
And we'll see you next Wednesday.
bye.
TNMP, the Nerdy Misfit Podcast. Don't forget to join the island by dropping a follow. Thank you, and see you next week.